fucking time. Well, I'll tell you what the time is. It's time to wake up, yeah. Pick a word, my friends. This called conspiracy. Feed it full of fucking lies. Eating shit and spitting me. Suffocation round my back is hooded in my eyes. I got a fucking noose. You're hanging out tonight. Wake up, yeah. Time to wake up.
Everywhere you go, always take the weather with you. Everywhere you go, always take the weather, because if you don't, and you're from a different country and you come to the UK, it's going to be cloudy and raining all fucking year long. It's summer. It's episode 183 of the Big Conspire, and it's not summer in the UK.
Also not 183.
Oh, 103. Sorry, not 183. I apologise. Well, minus 80. All right, okay, that was like a fucking train wreck of an introduction. But really, this is literally the worst start, like weather-wise, to a summer that I can, on like human record, ever. Anything? Like ever?
Yeah.
In living memory.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we've not had like we've had one day that I can remember of like sun the whole day through. The rest of it's just like chemtrail attack. It is. That's what it comes down to.
We're having the hottest May on record ever.
Warmest May on record. Like average. It's like we may have done this in the last. Well, I don't think we did because it couldn't have come out. But that's like everybody. There's no one, not a person you could speak to would go, well, yeah, it might be. Apparently, I did see something that. Sorry, basically there was a report came out saying that the UK had the warmest summer on like record since 1883 or whatever, since the record started. But everybody was like, no, you're lying. It's like literally made up lying propaganda. But I saw something, heard, read, whatever, that it was basically because of the cloud cover that the nights were warmer, so that then they could measure it as the warmest on record, even though the nights weren't particularly warm. But because the temperature hadn't gone down, in the evening, it stayed as an average throughout the day, sort of thing. So that's what they measured it on, and then came out with that fucking shit. It's like, I mean, really, how much can you lie, like blatantly lie to people, and really think you can get away with it? What do you think, Lee?
Well, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, but the fucking maskers will still be. Sorry, you are maskers. You're not even listening to this. So I don't even know why I'm saying you are. But yeah, they'll still be like, it's true. It is. Man-made climate. You're one of those, don't you? A bit with the man-made climate thing. A little bit.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Have an effect.
Although you know there's an agenda, but you also think that man-made. Well, I suppose man. I don't know. Why would they? Why would you think that they would? I don't know.
What?
Why would we affect climate? We affect the environment, definitely, but it doesn't mean we would affect climate. That's what I say, anyway. Anyway, that was my introduction. We're the Big Conspire. This is episode 103. I'm Rick.
I'm Lee. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing fine in the universal mind. I'm doing okay. Yeah, man. Don't know. Well, what's your life been like? Work and stuff? I know that. I mean, I know that because I work with you. So, how's it been going? We literally worked together today.
Didn't we?
I think we've done that once. Yeah, we did, didn't we? Fun, wasn't it, Lee?
It was great.
It was all right. We did the do, and that was all right. Didn't see any UFOs today. Do you ever actually? Do you know what? Do you ever like look up, and there's like a light in the sky, and you see it, and you think, how come I've managed to look up into the sky? It's like up there, and then it go, and then it'd be like there's like a light. You got to try and follow it, and it just like fade away. Do you get that? How can you look? I get that. Do you get that? Ever look up and there's light, and you think it's like maybe it's a. You don't. It doesn't. I mean, it's not like it's a spinning whatever ball of light or whatever, or it could be with you right up close to it, but you just sort of see it, and you think, and then it goes behind a cloud and like disappears. You try and follow it, or it just fades out like a satellite. Like, it doesn't mean it's a. Do you ever get that?
No.
You just look into a certain part of the sky and you see something like that.
Probably not.
Well, do you?
I
or
don't
not? You
think.
must
No,
know whether
I
you're...
can't remember anything like that.
Okay.
Because then
Well,
I'd think, oh, it's a spaceship. I must tell Rick.
yeah, I mean, like, so.
And I can't remember thinking, oh, it's a spaceship. I must tell Rick. So no, I don't ever.
This is true. Now, I obviously am referring to myself. I don't want to do it often, but I've done it a number of times, and I did it the other day, and it's just like, why? How could I just? Why do I? Like we have to look for house numbers and stuff like that. Like in our job because we're doing deliveries, and sometimes you'll be like, oh, I need a house number. You look, and you literally look at that house number as you know, the first thing you look at, unless it's just me. I don't know. Do you do that? You must do that.
No.
Oh, maybe it's just me. All right,
It's just you.
Do you know what this is?
You're just very special.
Do you ever like you listen to stories?
Probably
and,
not.
Like,
No.
Oh fucking hell! Don't do this. You've done this last episode. like youngsters, they talk about they could see their past, like dead people basically when they were younger. But then they say, oh, why didn't you tell anyone? It's like, well, we thought everybody did that. That kind of thing. So it's just like that kind of thing. I just sort of that's what I'm saying. Do you ever get like looking up and seeing the thing, or you just you're driving, you just look and it's the first number is the number that you're after, like sort of happens.
I mean,
I'm
sure it's happened once or twice, but just
I
pure
think,
luck.
like, quite a lot. But I don't know.
I know why you see the things in the sky. Because you're special. I haven't got the vision. You got the vision to see spaceships. I haven't got spaceship vision. I've just got normal vision. No, there's people out there who are susceptible to things that
I'm not sure whether you're taking the piss or not.
A little bit, but also a little bit true as well. It's like if you can see ghosts, not everyone can see ghosts. They got ghost vision, or talk to dead people, or talk to angels, or talk to hedgehogs. They got the special stuff, and I haven't got that, so I don't. Maybe you got extra special spaceship vision.
I just thought everybody did that. That's doing that. That's what I'm saying. I'm doing that thing, like certain things. Everybody, cheers.
Half a pint of cocktail.
Okay, cool. What is that? So you got cocktail juice and
not really cocktail.
Spiced rum or something like that.
Spiced rum and some lemonade and some orange juice and a little bit of grenadine. Looks good.
I've got vodka and ginger ale. This is my third one, and sometimes you can have one and it affects you, and then you can have three and it doesn't. And this is this is not affecting me. This is not affecting me.
So wait till you get to 6, and then we'll see.
No, I'm not drinking anymore. That's it. I've got to go and
okay, we'll see.
Stuff tomorrow. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. So, obviously, the question is, since our last podcast 2 weeks ago, since our last weekly podcast 2 weeks ago,
yeah.
Have you had any?
No.
Strange things?
I haven't. I've been very mundane. My life has gone back to being very mundane.
Oh man.
About you?
Apart from looking up and seeing that white light and then talking to you about this.
No.
Other than that,
your life is also mundane.
I'm trying to. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say I've not had any. Not anything I could write down.
It's disappointing. This is a disappointing section of the podcast, then, isn't it?
Well, but I might have had the other thing when you asked me, "Have I had any?"
Bro, have you had any meaningful dreams? Yeah.
I hope not. I hope it's not a meaningful dream because I had a dream. Basically, I was in this. I've had a lot of vivid dreams. I have been having a lot of vivid dreams. But this particular one, I was just like chilling out in this car, and I remember having basically a microphone, and it was like a karaoke microphone. I knew it was a karaoke microphone. I think I'd been doing karaoke in my car, and I remember fixing it, and then suddenly someone knocked on my window. I looked round, and there was this young girl like there, and I don't know if I wound the window down or whatever. And she said to me, "Are you going to die soon?" Or "You're going to die soon." I don't know whether it was "Are you going to die soon?" I'm sure it was "Are you going to die soon?" And then I woke up. I was like, "Fuck's sake!" But I have talked about this before. Where I had this, I was at where I used to place I used to work, Liberty, or Pinewood Studios. I was having to sleep on the floor of my vehicle, my van, as you do.
Yeah.
And I was aware. I don't actually. I can't. I'm not going to clarify this. I don't know whether I was aware before I had this thing or afterwards. But basically, I was having a nap, and I got woken up by like dream time, this girl leaning over me, young girl, saying, "You want to play with me?" And I was like, "Oh, like when you come out of and I saw this girl like in like a party dress or whatever, like a young girl's. And basically, there was a story at Pinewood Studios of, sorry, it's my bloody phone. Don't know why I did that. Of a girl. The family used to live there before it was a studios, and basically the father or something had been away. When he come back, the girl, there was like horse and carriage. The girl was so excited for him to come back that she ran out and got trampled by the horse and carriage and died there. And it was like a young girl, like that kind of age. But the thing is, the girl that knocked on my car door or window, I swear it was the same girl that woke me up at Pinewood Studios, like to say, "Do you want to play with me?" Now she just said, "You're going to die soon," or "Are you going to die soon?" It's like, thanks, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know.
It could just be a creation of your mind.
I hope
it could be
is.
A ghost.
100% hope it is an absolute complete creation of my mind. Yes, definitely. Because are you going to die soon? Are you going to die soon?
But did she say "are you" or "you are"?
I can't remember. I don't know if she said "you are going to die soon."
The important facts.
I think it was. "Are you going to die soon?" Oh, maybe she's waiting to play. When I die.
Okay. She's waiting to play with you.
Yeah. Are you going to die soon? Really? Well, probably. I'd imagine we all are going to die soon. If you've got anything to go by, you will, because you're dying.
Not soon.
You'll still die
soon
from radiation poisoning or whatever.
No, I'm not. Used to.
Okay, cool.
It's going to refuse. Point blank, no.
There was a I don't know who said the saying. I don't know what the saying was. It might have been Albert Einstein or something like that. It was basically after nuclear war, nuclear holocaust. The only the living are going to wish they were dead or something like that. The lucky ones are the dead people or something like that.
Yeah.
What's going on about nuclear war again? That's all.
Suppose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! Thanks for that. That's an uplifting thought, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Just going to the anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's that. That's
most depressing. Yeah, I haven't had anything. I've been dreaming, but nothing stands out. I think, I was very receptive, or it's just all the standard dreams.
Standard dreams. I feel again, mine has, apart from that one that's a stick in my head for quite a long time.
I'm sure it would be.
Yeah. I told my wife, she said, "Can't you dream again and ask her what she actually means?" I'm like, it doesn't work that way. Like, I can't just go, "Oh, I'm just going to go and meet up with a old ghost or whatever." Like, "You're going to die soon." A bit more.
Okay, I have got two things. I manifested 2 lottery wins in the same week.
Awesome.
Although they were only for like £2.90 and £3.20, but still, trying.
How do you know you manifested them?
Because I was trying to manifest lottery wins.
Okay, excellent. What I'll say.
I was going for the jackpot, so falling a way bit short of where I intended to be, but it's a start.
Maybe you manifest it for me, because I won it twice in the same week, and it was the same similar price thing. Mine was free, like either £2.30 and £3.20, or £3.20 and £2.30, like twice in a row.
Yeah, but it could be, because obviously family. So if you win the jackpot, I'm going to get some money off you anyway. I'm sure you'll give me some.
Lots and lots.
And if I win the jackpot, then you'll get some money.
Lots and lots.
Not some money. Probably somewhere like £3.20 or £2.90. Maybe even added together. Maybe I'll give you like £6.10 or something.
You do it online. You do the ticket, the solid thingy ticket.
No, ticket, do it online with the app or whatever.
Because if you do, you can check, and it says, "Congratulations, you've won." And it's like, with the ticket, you've won £2.30. But if you put like a thing over it, you can just imagine 3.3 million. Which
no, my way's better, because you get up in the morning and you look on your emails, and it says you've won check your I don't know, your account. You've won a prize. You think, yes, the prize is the jackpot, and then you open up. It's like £1.90.
How does it even work? How do you reckon it works? You think like, it says you've won a jackpot, and then it's like, you can withdraw this from your account and put it into your account. Like,
I wouldn't think so.
£60 million, just like.
I expect you'd have to contact someone and get it verified.
Please contact me, whatever.
But yeah.
I saw a story the other day, and it was was a young woman. She'd won like it was like 20 grand or something on the scratch card, but
Yeah.
she's had to wait months for it because they've like changed the rules or something like that. It's like some other companies doing it and something like that. So it's like I'm thinking. Sounds a bit iffy to me, like some kind of actually just trying to avoid paying it out. You know, like the bookies, like just the goddamn bookies, like trying to find a way to not actually give her the bloody prize. But she's like, oh, I've got myself in debt now because I've gone and bought all this stuff or whatever and done this stuff because I thought I was getting this money, which you would. Let's be honest, you know. But I mean, like if you won the jackpot and that, it would be, yeah, fuck work and stuff like that. But you'd be like, actually, let's wait and then fuck work.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just to make sure.
Yeah, at least wait till lunchtime. Yeah.
Anyway, so I got nothing else there. I've got no strangeness. I got no. It's disappointing. I feel disappointed recently.
You've been just a bit too busy because you've like gone off it. You know, just not thinking about it. You think?
Maybe.
You're not really.
I got a bit excited because during winter I was saying my dreams went right the way down, and then as the sun was coming back, my theory was it was like solar powered, so my dreams were becoming more vivid than that and almost lucid. Then gone because maybe the sun's gone, innit? No sun.
I keep telling people,
stealing us, stealing it from us.
We're battery powered beings. If we ain't got the sun, we don't work properly. That's it.
That is true.
It is true. It's not even technically true. But
we're not solar powered.
We are because we run off the sun. So and water, of course. Solar powered
and food.
Because no, but food gets all its energy from the sun, so we're eating sun power anyway.
Yes,
we get it any way you look at it.
You're just fudging it a bit there.
I'm not really. It's true. Any way you look at its energy, we live off sun energy. That's how
we live off energy.
Physical power. Okay. Our physicalness.
I'm not going to argue with you. You know you're talking rubbish, but
you can argue with me.
I don't want to.
Where's the food?
I understand, but that's just not directly, is it?
Energy conversion.
We are not. Yeah, but we're not solar powered.
Well, we are. If we don't get the sun, we die, don't we?
No.
We all get all kinds of so we don't die.
We don't die if we don't get the sun.
Lack of vitamin D.
You can replace that. You can get vitamin D and replace it, so we don't technically need the sun.
What if we can't replace it?
Then we die.
Thank you. So yeah,
that's not what you said. You didn't say that.
Solar powered.
You're solar powered. Fucking cell powered.
Whatever. Anyway.
You got any? We're going to move on. I don't know if you've got any news stories you want to talk about.
I've got some. About 15. Yeah, let's start.
Before we go there, we always do this at the moment. Every week we look to any correspondence from our people who listen to us. That often give out email address.
Check our emails anyway. So.
And I didn't check.
You're the email.
I haven't checked.
We might have loads sitting there.
Yeah, there's none.
When's the last time you checked?
I don't know.
About 6 months ago.
I can check now, actually. I can check. I can have a look.
I can read.
But what do you reckon? How many do you reckon?
Zero.
Correspondence, like going on past shows.
None.
Yeah, you're right. Look, nothing there.
Okay.
Spam and again.
You sure it's spam? You check the junk.
No.
Okay.
So yeah. And if you are out there and you want to send us a message, it's bigconspire@hotmail.com.
About fucking time.
There's social medias out there you can contact us on. Just look for the Big Conspire.
What's fucking taking you?
And once again, 103 episodes, not a single correspondence. Anyway, moving on, bro. What news you got?
I've got let's do a current eventy thing. Germany ramping up war plan as NATO on brink of all-out conflict with Russia. Germany has updated its war-term measures for the first time in 35 years as tensions between NATO and Russia continue to grow. Signaling the federal government intends to follow through on Defence Ministry Boris Pistorius' pledge to get the country ready for war by 2029. So Germany's going to invade Europe by 2029. Germany updated its 1989 Framework Directive for Overall Defence. The updated RRGV details in 67 chilling pages to which extent the outbreak of war would affect the civilian population. Employment, the protection of civilians and support for the army are the main themes emerging from the German document. Should the high tensions between the Western military alliance and Russia reach breaking point, mandatory conscription would be reintroduced in Germany, the document said. The plan also warns
Human
private
said.
companies may have to make. Who said Germany? The document said, "Oh yeah." The plan also warns private companies may have to make their vehicles and IT infrastructure available to the German armed forces, the Bundeswehr. The Bundeswehr.
So where you going with this, bro? What are you saying?
I'm just saying that they've updated their date, their thing, and they're basically saying they may have to call up everybody, and it's basically the first time it's been updated in 35 years to go along with what's going on at the moment. So 35 years ago, what was that? Wow, 80s.
Ooh.
1990, 1980?
90s.
1990?
35 years ago, 90.
1990. My God. Makes me feel really old. Like, I'm sure it was like, oh, fucking hell, yeah. Doesn't it make you feel old? And you'd like say, like,
When you look at it like that, yeah.
1990. Oh, my life. Anyway, yeah, so they're.
Yeah, I think we know what's they want to happen. I don't know if it will, but
Okay.
you've got France doing the same sort of thing, haven't you, at the moment as well?
I don't know. I keep doing that because my fucking camera's over. I probably ruined that now. My camera's pointing.
Oh, now I can see more of your face. Ugh.
Yeah, it's better. I don't know what.
It's disgusting.
There we go. It's disgusting. Right, my next one I'm going to do. Scientists. Right, you ready? You ready for this? Scientists claims human skeletons with radiation in buildings turned to glass are proof of 4,000-year-old nuclear war. A fringe-thinking scientist claims that there was a nuclear war 4,000 years ago and that humans are genetically modified by aliens to believe in deities. News.com, it's like KNEW, so dodgynews.com, has learned that Billy Carson, also a conspiracy theorist, appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast where he claimed that some of the skeletons at Pakistan's Mohenjo-Daro archaeological dig contained abnormally high levels of radiation. I can't deny or confirm this. In the video posted to YouTube, the MIT science graduate said, the buildings at the Mohenjo-Daro site turned to glass and the sand turned to glass and the bodies are still lying in the street right now, referring to the ruins that are believed to be the largest civilization at the time, of its time. The area was populated by a Harappan, which dwarfed other early societies like Egypt, Mesopotamia and China. Carson further claimed that the society, although thought of as the most civilized of its time, is even more advanced and currently accepted in academic circles. These bodies that are sitting on the edge of steps next to their own buildings that they lived in, and the building has turned to glass, he claimed. He went on to say that the people of the said region were killed by 3,000 Fahrenheit weapons fire, akin to a nuclear fallout. However. Carson discredits the idea that civilization ended due to explosive event triggered by asteroid or meteor, like that which occurred in Russia's Krasnoyarsk Krai in 1908, as described as. Is that the Tunguska?
I think so.
Is that a different one? Must be, isn't it? That's the one I think of.
I'm going to say the
Tunguska, yeah.
The zip.
Their bones would have been splattered apart and broken up into pieces. Reason they don't have any evidence of any injury in any kind of attack or any cutting from swords or anything, he reiterated. Carson speaks of an evil wind that blew over the city was recorded on the tablets of the ancient Sumerian text to support his theory of a nuclear war. He referred to a megalithic structure in South Africa known as Adam's Calendar and claimed that the carvings on this ruin allegedly tell of how these alien beings went to war. Adam's Calendar, apparently it's all I could find. Straight off. In 2003, South African pilot John Hine was flying over the hills of a gorgeous Mapulangas region of South Africa when he crashed his plane into the mountainside. After exiting the plane, Hine saw before him...
What?
He crashed it and exited it. Hine saw before him 3 monolithic 5-ton dolomite stones sticking out of the ground and behind them a giant stone circle. Maybe he was watching it and crashed by accident.
Yeah, I was just like, he crashed his plane as if he'd done it on purpose. You mean his plane
Maybe he
crashed?
tried to land it and he crash landed or something.
I don't know.
Known to only a select few and accessible solely by rough dirt roads past the wild horses of Kapsijahhoop. The megalithic, nailed it, stone calendar is dubbed Allen's Calendar, with the shape of a circle and diameter of 100 foot. Is nicknamed the birthplace for the sun and dubbed South Africa's Stonehenge. I've never heard of it, to be honest with you, which is a bit stupid. Every many similar stone monuments, it loosely aligns with the celestial world. The stone circle generated a fair amount of buzz after Michael Tellinger, a writer, claimed it was the oldest man-made structure in the world, was made by a vanished civilization. However, his claims have been widely disputed. As of now, the true age, origin, and purpose of Adam's calendar remains a mystery that is yet to be solved. Anyway, I just explained what Adam's calendar was. Basically, a monolithic.
Look at it now. They say South Africa estimated to be around 75,000 years old. Who's estimating?
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I think they can't clarify, what it is. No, well, no one agrees, really. You've got the academics that say one thing and then other people claim another thing. Anyway, he claims that the carvings on the ruin allegedly tell of how alien beings went to war. As he speaks, Carson's theory slants toward David Icke ideas. They're making it all like David Icke's ideas are really like kooky. David Icke nails it. He says that the aliens were on Earth in the beginning of time and that they manipulated humans into being subservient before enslaving them to mine gold. Said gold, according to Carson, was part of a bigger plan for alleged aliens to repair their own atmosphere. They inserted something called a worship gene, which was just discovered recently. Okay, human beings have a gene inside of them. It can be turned on and off, Carlson claimed. It can be turned off in a laboratory setting. It can be turned off with a magnetic field around your head. 5G, maybe. When it's off, you don't want to worship anything outside of yourself. You look inside. When it's on, you look to get something from the outside. Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got.
Doesn't really mean anything, does it, bro?
No, but I just thought I'd chuck it in.
No, thought I'd play in there.
Yeah.
So do you believe that, was it 4,000 years ago or 4,000 BC?
I said 4,000 years ago, I think. Yeah, something. I don't know when, but I think something like that.
Nuclear weapons were used. What's going on 2000 BC?
Did you say 4,000 BC? 4,000 BC.
So 2000 BC who was about? What civilizations?
Mesopotamian, Sumerian.
Okay.
That kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that definitely there was a civilization that was more advanced than what we let everyone admits, and that something terrible happened between these civilizations, and they probably wiped each other out, or they were invaded and subjugated.
With nuclear weapons.
It doesn't mean nuclear, but something like that. I would say something like, some devastating weapon of mass destruction was
power of the sun.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Ark of the Covenant.
Maybe something like that.
Okay.
Cool. Anyway, yeah. So I'd say, yeah, almost definitely something like that. Right, my next one. Ready for my next one?
I am.
The WHO warns new deadly bird flu variant discovered in Mexico. Originally a harmless virus in wild birds, a new strain of what bird flu has claimed its first human life in Mexico, prompting the World Health Organization to intensify its monitoring efforts. So this is from 12 hours ago. Media reports indicate that a man had no known contact with animals before falling ill, but Jorn Olsen, a professor of infectious diseases at Uppsala University, finds this unlikely and suspects the man must have had brief contact with animals. He might have walked through a chicken coop or a flock of birds and got infected that way. You walk through a flock of birds and get infected that way, that's pretty fucking serious in itself, isn't it? There's no other plausible explanation, says Olsen. There is.
He was infected on purpose.
Yeah, good point.
Where did this man work?
This is I don't know, it doesn't say.
He just happened to work in a laboratory.
Yeah. Since 2003, no, he just happened to spend time in a laboratory research thing, like.
Yeah.
He's just got his vaccine or whatever. Since 2003, nearly 900 people worldwide have been infected with the bird flu virus, with over 50% of those cases resulting in death. The WHO has warned of the severe consequences of the spread of flu viruses, especially H1N1 type, which has a fatality rate exceeding 50%. H5N2 virus has spread in recent years. First perceived as harmless in wild birds, blah, 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 we know all this. This is April 24th, a 59-year-old man in Mexico died after experiencing acute diarrhea, fever and shortness of breath, marking the first human death from this new strain of bird flu. I'd put that there because an outbreak of potentially deadly E. coli has triggered an urgent health warning to look out for symptoms as 113 cases been confirmed around the UK in recent weeks. I thought it was like recent days. The UK Health Agency said it is investigating an increased number of Shiga toxin producing E. coli cases, which can cause bloody diarrhea. Might I say, World Health Authority, bloody diarrhea from the has been potentially linked to a nationally distributed food, it's saying. A statement from the agency on Thursday read, based on the wide geographic spread of cases, it is most likely this outbreak is linked to a nationally distributed food item or multiple food items. They don't know where it come from. No specific source has yet to be traced for the outbreak. It is often transmitted by eating contaminated food. In December last year, one person died in Scotland, 11 were hospitalised from food poisoning linked to the outbreak of E. coli.
They're saying he wasn't bird flu, it's E. coli.
No, I'm saying maybe this in the UK is E. coli, is a bird flu, not E. coli.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, maybe.
Why would they
E.
hide
coli,
it?
bruises that happen easily, pale skin, red or bloody urine, reduced amount of urine, kidney failure.
Bro, why would they hide it?
Because they don't want people to get on top of it. Once it's
what?
out. What is the... I don't know. They don't want people to panic, or they don't want... They do want people to panic, but they want it to be more spread before people, you know...
Makes no sense.
No,
Clutching at straws there.
Yeah.
Clutching at eggs there.
I'm clutching... Yeah, clutch. But that was my... I don't know, maybe it's a sort of form of bird flu and not E. coli that's spreading through the country. Possible?
Well, yeah.
Not likely.
It's as possible as you being solar powered.
I am solar. I'm an infinite... Oh, do you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you, man. Makes perfect sense to me. Perfect sense. Heard. Fuck you.
Okay.
Go ahead, jackass.
That's it.
Okay, I haven't got anything. I mean, there's been various stories. There's the story of I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say the story of there was like stock market crashes, not crashes, but anomalies where
you know about this,
certain stocks fell
this,
like 99% or whatever, and people tried to buy it. It was that Hathaway. Remember the proper name of it, but yeah, and just some other anomalies around the interwebs.
Like
that sort of thing. Hackings, things going down, services, and all happening around the same time. So I think
it could just be like embezzling and stuff like that, and like that kind of
I suppose it could be.
Shut something down.
But I think they're preparing the systems for failure.
How long have we been saying this for?
A couple of years. You said it more than me, but I do.
I have.
Because I've been reading a book
100%.
called "This Is How They Tell Me the World Will End," and it's about like computer hacking and stuff in there about how the NSA going back to the early 2000s and that were basically putting backdoors into all software and even hardware if they could manage to do it as well, without any care in the world for who else might actually access. They just were interested in them having access to stuff like backdoors, where I'm not really thinking. I just reckon the whole system's built on sand. The whole system probably is built mostly on sand.
And they can just you're talking about IT systems like computer, internet, and everything like that. They can just at some point just go blink.
Yeah,
they've got that really, I suppose, but
they've got like backdoors, viruses, that sort of specially tailored stuff to shut stuff down. I think it might be coming at some point soon.
Do you think that could be there to not protect themselves, but like as a scorched earth kind of thing? Say if someone overthrew the government, if there was an insurrection or something like that and it succeeded, they just like do the switch, or in whatever country, like the UK or something. It's not likely, but if that was, it's just like their fail safe. They've got it there instead of planning to because they want to change. I mean, they do. I agree with you. I
don't know, because I think that would probably fall into that would play into the hands of the people taking over, wouldn't it? Yeah, because then they could set up their own systems. It'd make it easier because they'd have to, wouldn't they? They'd have to put their own systems in place.
Do you know what happens if the internet goes down? We might as well drop nuclear bombs. It's that.
We won't be able to do our podcast.
I know. Well, you might as well drop
Probably the worst thing.
Podcast. I'm just saying that it is that severe. If there's no internet, if it disappears, seriously, it is that bad. So like, I'm just saying like, and it's not just the internet, is it? It's everything. It's like
everything.
I suppose it is the internet, but yeah. That's all I'm just saying. I've literally.
Anyway, another story we'll move on. Another story I read about was China. People haven't really seen much about that. They landed a probe on the dark side of the moon. It's just stayed there for 2 days collecting samples from the moon, and then it lifted off and is bringing them back. It's on its way back now, apparently.
So why did they go to the dark side of the moon?
Because apparently no one's been there to collect samples.
I don't believe them. Don't believe anything.
No, I don't know.
I don't believe anything any government says about anything.
Because there was a slight bit on the story I was reading about it, and they were like saying we're happy with this craft, survived the high temperatures on the dark side of the moon from the sun or whatever. But I thought that's exactly the same as on the other side of the moon. It's not, the moon isn't like the dark side of the moon's called that because it's faces away from the Earth. It's not called the dark side of the moon because it doesn't get any sunshine.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they.
It does because it.
No.
Doesn't move. It never faces the.
Yeah, but it still goes. The sun still is out like much further away. The moon's going around the Earth. The dark side of what we call the dark side of the moon would still at some point be facing the sun.
Actually, I think you might be wrong there.
I'm not.
I think you might or you might not be wrong.
I'm totally not wrong.
Because the moon doesn't. I mean, you're probably not wrong because it has to. Because it goes even if that side. No, because it's always the same face. Yeah,
to the Earth, but the sun's a long way away. You know what I mean? The moon. Well, think about it. It's not like a local. You're thinking of it in relation to the Earth.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Well, no, I'm thinking about I'm thinking about the and I'm doing this.
You're moving your hands around as if.
I know. I'm being smart. The rotation of the moon, the same side always faces the Earth, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
the same side of the Earth doesn't always face the sun.
No, listen to me. I'm talking about the moon, not talking about the Earth. Are we?
I know.
So exactly. So when the moon goes round to the other side, it would be facing the other side. If it's not facing it that side, when it goes around there, it would be facing unless it never does. Unless it's in
it does. Of course, it does.
You have to. You can't just go. Of course, it does.
I can. Can say
what
that.
It does? Like, let's say we're going around there. So we're going around the.
So what you're trying to say is,
this is the sun and this is us, and this goes round.
Yeah.
The moon's going around that.
You're making this doesn't help people listening on a podcast.
It doesn't. Okay.
He's holding his fist up and he's circling his finger around it as if his fist is the sun.
Also,
and his finger's the
my
Earth.
microphone. There was three elements involved there: the moon, the sun.
Anyway, it was just a point that stood out as they were happy. But if they landed it on the near side of the moon, at some point it'd get exposed to the same amount of sun.
No, because the sun. Right,
yes,
the face that is face. Oh, I see what you mean because you think that because the moon. No, because the moon's. No, no, you're not right.
I am entirely
but
right.
Explain yourself.
Dark side of the moon's called that because we can't see it from the Earth. It's facing away from us. Not dark side of the moon because it never gets exposed to the sun. Both sides of the moon get exposed to the sun.
No, because one side's always facing the Earth.
Yes. The Earth isn't always between the moon and the sun.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Don't be a dumbass.
He kind of, yeah, but even if the sun, you can't see what I'm doing, can you?
It's mechanically impossible. The moon goes around the Earth in 30 days. The Earth takes 365 days to go around the sun.
Yeah, but you've got to think about the we've done this on the bloody podcast about the moon, about the anomalies of the moon and stuff like that. It doesn't act like a normal
there's plenty of anomalies, but what you're saying is not possible. Anyway, let's move on. You can go and look up a model of how the moon moves and stuff.
This is pub talk. This is drunk.
I understand what you mean. It seems like because it's one side's always facing the Earth, but the Earth is not always between the moon and the sun.
We'd have to look at the orbit. We'd have to actually look at the orbit and
Yes,
the
we
science
would.
of it and come
Have
back.
to look at the orbit.
We'll come back next week and
We won't, because we say that a
we-
lot, and we
or
always
the week
forget.
after. Did we forget something last week? Was I supposed to investigate something? And come
Probably.
back? Who knows? Send us an email.
I don't know. There's no other stories I can be bothered with.
All right. Oh, that is it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is.
Cool.
I just thought those two were interesting, especially the one about the stock market, like the anomaly.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. So I was hearing like June 6th, something's going to happen June 7th, something's going to happen June, when it was supposed to be May the 23rd or something like that, and then before it was.
Oh, you're thinking it was June the 3rd because there was a conjunction of planets? Well,
oh yeah, that was like shit.
If you looked at it from Earth, there was a conjunction of planets because it looked like they were in a line, but in space they weren't.
When does the contract for Saudi Arabian oil run out with America?
Not true.
Is it not true?
It's a fake story. What, the 50-year thing? Yeah, if you go look at the original documents, it's 5 years and it ran out 35 years, 25 years ago.
Oh, right, so they could have at any point just decided not to trade.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, all right, okay, cool.
Yeah, because I saw that, and then
basically.
I saw people saying it's going to end in, I don't know, 9th or something, and then I saw someone else talk about it, and they showed the actual original document, and it was like for 5 years, and it's...
Maybe the original documents are fake.
Maybe they made up another one.
I just don't know.
Maybe in a few days, Saudi Arabia decide not to use the dollar anymore and go with something else.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Crushing me.
But in that sense, I think that's another one of those stories.
Okay, cool.
We like to visit every now and again.
I've just done it. We've just got a little moving on, I suppose.
Yeah.
Moving on up, moving on out. I just want to do just a little I suppose a little bit of spirituality, about sort of historical spirituality, about, I don't know, I'd like people's ideas or religion's ideas for heaven and hell. It does seem that most, in fact, yeah, almost all. Say like, yeah, like not. I mean, there's
almost.
There's a lot more religions than we're going to talk about, but sort of like the main ones, and some older religions, like the idea of heaven, and just like the brief idea of heaven and hell, like, you know, what their things were with heaven and hell, really, basically. That makes sense?
It will do after we've done it.
After we've done it, cool.
I'm interested to see what you're giving me here.
Okay, cool. It's versions of heaven, and we've got like some versions of hell as well. Right, let's see how they how it divulges. So I've got heaven. Marx called it the carrot used by the wealthy to keep us working hard for little money. I agree. After all, the real rewards are supposed to come much later, but despite what Marx had to say, the notion of a happy afterlife won't quite go away. Here are six pleasant resorts the righteous can look forward to in afterlife. Can I ask, though, do you think...
There's more than 6 in there.
Yeah, I mean, we've got more, yeah. I'm just saying, like, oh, sorry, yeah. I said 6 because it would have
like
been
8 or
6, but there's more, yeah, something like that. But do you think... I mean, I don't know, because... People say, oh, like, it's all the people, there's more murders and stuff now, but I reckon there's been so much murder and heinous things, done by people throughout forever.
Yeah, definitely.
Was there ever? Did it ever work? Did it ever work to keep the
No.
like the massive sort of under whatever lock and key or under the boot, the heel or whatever? It was definitely used as, certain groups could come around and just take you away and use the God thing, the religion thing, and then put you to death, whatever. If you were threatening the state, they just, the state's powerful anyway. They just take you away and torture you and do what they want you anyway, wouldn't they?
I expect over the years more people have been murdered or, tortured, murdered under the piece of religious
Yeah.
religious sayings, than just people not being like, not having any fear of heaven or hell, if you're not having fear of hell and doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
Like all the religious people, the religious, like wars, murders, whatever. Because they get righteousness on their side, so it's like it doesn't count for us.
Yeah.
So do you understand?
Yeah, so they're doing God's work or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like,
so they've probably destroyed far more people and lives than non-believers ever have in 100%. That sense.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely. Never. Blasphemer. Anyway,
so what are we going with first?
We'll start with basically it's called heaven. Judaism. I've got a couple of things here.
Do you want to read
it? What you can say? No, go on, you can start, go on.
Okay, as one of the oldest and most influential religions in existence, Judaism might be expected to be the source of our most profound notions of heaven, but it isn't. In fact, there is no clear indication of a heaven or afterlife in the Jewish scriptures at all, which leads to a lot of debate on the subject. Two typical positions are those of the Pharisees, who believe that there was an implied notion of an afterlife, and the Sadducees? The Sadducees, who pointed out that there was no biblical evidence of such. Over the millennia, Jews have come to believe in various versions of heaven, some of which occur after the Messiah comes and involve the righteous dead coming back to life. Still, overall, Judaism is more concerned with life in the here and now. Gan Eden, Hebrew for the Garden of Eden, is the final spiritual plane of Judaism, where the souls of the righteous go to spend eternity with God. It's described as being 60 times better than what we experience on earth, and is the counterpart to Gehenna, a kind of Jewish purgatory where sinners go to purify themselves of the wrongs they committed. Most only have to stay there for 12 months, but the truly wicked never come out. It is sometimes compared to the Garden of Eden in the Bible, but it is a distinct place which has never been seen by mortal eyes.
Do you know what? With that kind of thing, I've heard, like with people who have near-death experiences, like where they see what they've done, what they've experienced through their life.
Yeah.
Would that be a kind, like if you've done particularly, or you experience it from the eyes of somebody else? So if you've done it with who you've done it to, so if you've done particularly what we consider heinous acts, you'd experience like through that through. I mean, we've talked about this before. You experience it through their eyes. Like say like a concentration camp. What if say someone like Genghis Khan, who controlled the Mongol horde that went across the nations and raped and pillaged and might done some good things with knowledge. What's called education, stuff like that, but actually just went across and just raped and murdered and pillaged, etc. Would Genghis Khan, in particular, would he have to experience everything that the Golden Horde, whatever his horde was called, did to people? Do you know what I mean? Would he be? When he died,
I know what you mean, but I don't know.
I'm just saying, would that be a thing? But then like. Like the butterfly effect. Maybe I'm going too deep into this, but like the butterfly effect. Like you do something, and it has a consequence. So like you don't mean, you don't pay someone. Someone's got mental health problems, right? I know you don't agree with this stuff, like, but if someone's got mental health problems, and then you look at them, or they think you looked at them a certain way, but you did, but not in the way they thought, and then they went off and healed themselves, right? And then their family was all affected by that, and then knock-on effect through centuries because of someone killing themselves. And then you expected to die when you die. You're expected to experience everything, like what happened. Say that person killed themselves. You're expected to experience that, and then whatever happened to everybody else.
Why would you?
Because exactly, it's not you didn't mean to do it.
Doesn't it mean to do something to do with intention?
I don't know.
Intention's got to be. Well, of course it has.
No, because you don't. Just because you don't mean to be. So you don't mean to be. Sorry, leaning on my guitar. You don't mean to be whatever to someone. It's just how, like, you just say stuff, but it's not. Like when you're a kid and you do whatever you do. You don't know the consequences of stuff. Is it to do with if you know the consequences or just if you do it?
No, I'm just saying to you, I think it can only be to do with intention.
It would have to be. It would have to be, wouldn't it? Otherwise, you would literally. But then you would experience like everything forever. You know, like every single.
Who would experience everything?
Like when you died, you would experience everything that everyone.
If what? If it
like,
was an intention.
Yeah, if it
was
wasn't,
just inadvertent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Action and
It
consequence.
doesn't make any sense the way you're saying it.
No, if it's action and consequence, say like I did. You don't mean to do it, but it happens, and then so like you've got like a branch of, like you've got, I don't know, a whole branch.
But what's
of
the
family,
point?
and what's
the point of seeing it all?
I don't know. Learning.
Well, there's got to be a point. Yeah, but what are you learning?
Well, it's the same as like, what's the point of where we are now? It's like the whole people say like the point of this is like to learn and to experience. So when you're seeing it through someone else's eyes, everything you're looking at it from a different point of view. Again, I know what I mean, but it's hard to explain. Everything's like about experience and points of view and it's seeing it in everything. Anyway, that was just maybe a bit too much for. Does that make sense?
A conversation for a different day.
It's a conversation for where we are right now.
We've had this conveison before a little bit. We'll
makes my head
visit
full.
it again a different time.
Should we do a hell one? Let's do a hell one. Let's do Judaism's hell. Can we do that?
Put it down.
This is hell, Judaism, apparently. As with their view of heaven, Jews have an ambiguous version of hell. The Hebrew Bible makes little mention of it, except as a place where spirits of the dead reside. Sheol. There is, however, the term Gehenna, which we were talking about Gehenna, which refers to a valley in which children reportedly sacrificed to the god Moloch. Okay. Eventually, this valley became a refuse dump that was constantly burning, which provided a powerful metaphor for a place to send sinners. In later Judaism, hell is a place for punishment for unbelievers, but according to the rabbi text, they will probably stay there for no more than a year. That's the 12 months again. So hell comes from when there was an actual place where they used to sacrifice
Valley
children.
Of Gehenna.
Okay, all right.
Also, modern studies say Moloch. Say it. I can't even.
Moloch. It's Moloch,
Anyway,
isn't it? I think it's spelled wrong. I think it's Moloch, or we know it as Moloch.
Modern scholars are thinking that Moloch is not an actual god, but an act. The act of like child sacrifice, and not a god in itself. Yes, you don't sacrifice to Moloch. Moloch is the act of sacrificing. You would be sacrificing to a different god.
Oh, so Moloch is sacrifice.
Yeah. You're looking at the text, they're reinterpreting that where Moloch is like being mentioned, it's not actually a god, it's the act of sacrificing probably children.
Oh, so okay. So where does this come from?
What do you mean? It's scholars, they're like reinterpreting, or when they get texts and stuff and they find new versions of older, well, not new versions, but
do you think this because people
new
have
stuff
discovered
arrives?
That they're supposed to be, like with the play. Oh bloody hell! Where's that place they're supposed to go with these leaders and stuff like that, and they sacrifice or chuck their sacrifice in front of Moloch, the giant owl god. Supposed to be
but Moloch's not an owl, is it? That's probably the owl's probably not even Moloch. It's Minerva, isn't it?
Well, isn't it an owl?
It's an owl, but it's probably not Moloch. I'm saying I think it's all
but
mixed up.
This might have come out just to cover up their tracks.
It might do. Also, that's not Moloch.
Might not.
It's Minerva.
Okay.
It's to do with knowledge and stuff, isn't it?
What, the owl?
Also, it's discussion for a different day.
Yeah, sorry, all right. It doesn't matter. We discussed it now, all right. Go on, you can do Paradise of Zoroastrian. Zoroastrianism.
Yeah, right. Paradise. It was the ancient Persians who gave us the word paradise, which means a walled garden or park, and Zoroastrianism in particular gave us notions of the afterlife that were adopted and or adapted by the Jews, Christians and Muslims. Zoroastrianism is also interesting because, unlike other religions, it claims that everyone will eventually get into heaven, even though it might take a while. the paradise of Zoroastrianism is attained the 4th day after death by crossing the bridge of the separator, which widens when the righteous approach it. See the next. The righteous soul crosses the bridge and is met by a beautiful maiden who is the physical and feminine embodiment of all that is good works on earth. He is then escorted to the house of song to await the last day. On this day, everyone will be purified and live in a new world absent of evil and full of youthful rejoicing. So what happens to the women? Because it says him and meeting a woman. Is it the other way around or women not allowed into
Should it be they?
paradise?
They are.
Yeah, maybe.
What is it with this beautiful maiden? It's like... So, that's like the... a little bit like the Rainbow Bridge and shit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, has got
a bit of Norsey stuff to it.
My brain's not working. I can't think of half the words I want. It has got similarities, yes. You've got the bridge you need to cross over into the end of the...
We'll talk about Zoroastrianism. Their hell. It's called the Chinvat Bridge. The Bridge of Separation, as it's also known, is the one that all people must walk after they die. So it's not just men. For the righteous, it broadens and leads to a beautiful maiden. But for the less than righteous, it turns on its side and becomes like a razor. Oh, so you like balancing. The ancient god Mithras, which is like Roman deity as well, is there with a scale to balance the good and evil deeds done during one's lifetime. And if evil deeds prevail, then the soul is tormented by an old hag before it falls to the bridge into hell. The torments evil go well beyond Dante's imagination and focus on punishment directly related to the evil deeds. Zoroastrianism hell may be the most horrific of all, and the text called the Vision of Ardavirath describes in all its glory. Fortunately, everyone eventually leaves Zoroastrian hell. They are purified and join the righteous in the reign of God Ahura Mazda. So you have basically you go to this hell place to get rid of your shit, to unburden, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's basically experiencing the shit that you've done to people, which is a little bit like, again, I suppose like a little bit like your past life review kind of thing, maybe.
Sounds like it, yeah.
A little bit like that. It's quite interesting.
Purified for your heaven. Christianity is probably the one that we know the most of, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Christian notion of heaven is one of singing and rejoicing before God in a new heaven and a new earth. It also reflects Christianity's roots in Judaism because this new heaven contains a city called New Jerusalem. There are elaborate descriptions of the city in the book of Revelation. New Jerusalem has a wall and 12 gates, and on each gate is the name of one of the tribes of Israel along with an angel. There are also 12 foundations, one each for the 12 apostles. Fact, we even know the size of the New Jerusalem. 1,400 miles square with a 200-foot wall. The structure itself is made of all kinds of precious stones, some of which have not yet been identified on this earth. There is a river of the water of life, which flows from God's throne. Trees of life line the banks of the river and produce fruit every month. Believers will have God's name written on their foreheads, and all pain, tears and death will disappear forever.
Oh, how nice.
So you got to spend eternity just singing praises to God.
Boring.
Sounds a bit of a narcissist, doesn't he, really?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
So what's the hell like? What's the hell like?
Christianity. Christian hell seems at one level to be a combination of the Jewish idea of Gehenna, where there is eternal burning in Hades, where there is eternal punishment. In fact, the Greek word for hell in the New Testament is often Hades. And Jesus used the word Gehenna, a version of Gehennon, to indicate the place for sinners where the fire is not quenched and the worm does not die. The book of Revelation indicates that those names are not found written in the book of life are thrown into the lake of fire. In fact, death and Hades themselves are thrown into the lake of fire in the end. In addition to these texts, Dante did much to embellish the Christian notion of hell in his Inferno. So basically it's like a burning inferno where you end up being
like all the bad people go there. Well, what God considers bad. Includes people who don't believe in him.
On to Paradise. You want to do this one?
Paradise. What are we doing here? We've got Islam. The Islamic version of heaven is a paradise for those whose good works have outweighed the bad, as determined by the straight path laid out in the Quran. Heaven is a garden where the faithful lie upon couches in a climate-controlled environment surrounded by bashful, dark-eyed virgins, chased as the sheltered eggs of the ostrich. They will drink from crystal goblets of silver vessels as immortal youths hover about them looking like scattered pearls. The believers will be clothed in green silk and brocade and will wear silver bracelets, and they will drink of pure draught, drawn from Allah's own source as a reward for their striving and patience.
Sounds all very we're gonna get loads of
like they
women. They have
well, it
to,
doesn't say that the people are just about, like they drink from crystal goblets and silver vessels. Immortal youths hover about them looking like scattered pearls. So what, just people stand around looking pretty?
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's all like
eye candy.
Like, la, la, la. They have to forsake earthly pleasures so they can have it all in the afterlife, basically, isn't it?
I know, it didn't say anything about pleasures. Just said you're sitting around drinking. Quite good, but
drinking Allah's own source. Drinking Allah's,
yeah, Allah's own source.
Not going to make. Probably shouldn't comment.
Drawn from Allah's own source. Yeah, looking at that, it's like, maybe you should have elaborated on this paradise.
Maybe I should. Let me swing down to the hell of Islam. This is not in chronological order. The Quran, the sacred text of Islam, usually speaks of heaven and hell in the same passage. Perhaps in order to provide a dramatic contrast, hell is often described as an evil resting place, and the fire. But fire is just the beginning of torment in hell, because the fire is like a wall enclosing the wicked. When they cry out, they are showered with water as hot as molten brass. It's not water then, is it? Let's be honest. Which scalds their faces. It gets worse. The unbelievers wear garments of fire and are lashed with rods of iron. And if they try to escape, they are dragged back and told to taste the torment of the conflagration. Doesn't sound very nice.
Sound very good holiday destination. Well, I suppose all the hells are like that. I mean, it's very similar to the Christian hell, isn't it?
The point, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah. Well, because it's based on Christianity, a lot of it. Like the heaven is probably very similar. I mean, you put a really short bit on about it.
It's all the same religion, isn't it? Anyway,
that is, yeah.
That we've done so far, they're pretty much. No offence, don't care if you're offended, but you're all pretty much, doing the same.
Yeah, they're all doing the same. Apart from Jewish. Don't really have a hell and a heaven as such. Not the way it's defined by the other ones.
What's going on in Palestine at the moment?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's why they're not bothered.
Yeah. Number 5.
Well, we got moksha, which is Hinduism. Eastern religions don't really have notions of heaven like those in the West. Instead, they usually offer some kind of release from illusion and suffering in the present world. The Hindu Upanishads are philosophical portions of the Vedas, Hinduism's oldest sacred text, and in them the notions of self and afterlife are developed. According to the Upanishads, our actions connect us to this world of appearances, which is in fact illusionary. Matrix, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is real is Brahman, the ultimate reality that transcends our sensory experiences. Unfortunately, we live in ignorance of Brahman and act accordingly to our illusions. This action, karma, causes us to participate in the cycle of death and rebirth from which it's difficult to escape. Thus, if you can escape your ignorance and realise that ultimately you are not you, but Brahman itself, then you can achieve release from the cycle of death and rebirth. This release is called moksha. The ultimate destination for souls who have achieved moksha, or salvation, Vaikuntha, is the highest of heavens in Hinduism and is said to be the place where Vishnu, the supreme god, resides. Upon arrival, the souls are granted love and fellowship with Vishnu, which lasts for eternity. Everyone in Vaikuntha is beautiful and young, especially the women, who are compared to Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess of fortune. Animals and plants are infinitely better than their real-world counterparts, and the denizens of Vaikuntha fly in aeroplanes made out of lapis lazuli, emeralds and gold. In addition, the forests have wish-giving trees, specifically designed for the inhabitants. Again, men would receive wives and consorts as they pleased.
Yeah, what about the women? What do they get in any of this?
Well, they get to be consorts and wives by the sounds
They
of it.
should be happy about it as well.
Yeah. I quite like a lot of that. The whole Hinduism thing and like the illusion, and if you escape the whole illusion thing, you can move on.
Infinite love is the only truth. Everything else is an illusion.
Sounds good.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be much more willing to accept that as a heaven than
I like
heaven.
that one.
Heaven
tree.
of other ones. Who doesn't want a wishing tree?
Whoever doesn't want a wishing tree should.
Have they got a version of hell? Or
if you want a wishing tree, become a Hindu. If you don't want one, become a Muslim. There you go. Samsara, it's called Samsara. Again, Eastern religions have a very different notion of the afterlife. Although in some sects of Hinduism, Buddhism and Taoism, there are heavens and hells that are similar to Western ideas of the same. Hindu hell, however, is traditionally a continuation of life on earth called Samsara. Samsara is an endless cycle of life, of death and rebirth that is a result of ignorance and ultimate reality of the universe. The word means to wander across, as in lifetimes, and Samsara is a result of karma or actions taken in this life that will determine the nature of one's rebirth and the caste one is born into. So it's basically reincarnation, isn't it? That's hell. That's why lots of people say this is hell, isn't it?
Lots of people do say that, but I don't believe it.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think this is hell.
I don't either, for that matter.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
That's good. I'm glad we agree.
Cool.
What we got now?
Nirvana. Have you got that on there?
Oh, not yet. Right. Buddhism. One of the Four Noble Truths of Buddha is that suffering is caused by desire. The desire to have, but also the desire to be. Desire is tanha, or a burning that keeps us caught in the web of illusion that is our ego. The Buddha taught that desire is the flame that burns us, causes suffering and keeps us tied to the cycle of death, rebirth, because the flame continues burning into the next life. What we hope for is nirvana, or the extinguishing of that flame, which is also the end of suffering.
So once you don't...
That has got nothing to do with heaven. That's just a way of...
breaking the cycle
thinking. Yeah, but it's not actually a heaven, is it? It's just what they believe.
Yeah, it's not really, doesn't tell you where you go, what happens once you escape the rebirth and stuff, does it? It's not really.
No.
Just the only, well, basically, it's just said there is only hell, there is no heaven, isn't it? Really, if you're stuck in the cycle of rebirth, birth and rebirth, then you're just stuck in a perpetual hell.
I'm not saying it's a hell, is it? It's
no,
not necessarily hell. You're just stuck in the. Yeah, but it's not a hell.
That's
what I'm stuck in the cycle.
Yes, we don't. I'm just saying what this kind of text was saying that's their only idea. Their only idea of heaven is to break the birth rebirth cycle. That's their idea of heaven. They were saying they haven't got an idea of heaven, but the only way to get.
That's what I'm saying. In this, there is not a place where you go and you live happily ever after, and that is there. It's not.
I don't think so. No, there isn't. No.
In Buddhism, there's not.
However, in Tibetan Buddhism, there is a bardo. It says the bardo, which is the hell place. Which I'm not sure. One of the most. Sorry, you going to say something?
No, I said okay.
One of the most detailed and elaborate depictions of the afterlife is from the Tibetan Buddhist text Bardo Foldu, or the Tibetan Book of the Dead. As the title suggests, the book deals with the dying, or more accurately, with the state of between. There are many betweens: birth and death, sleeping and waking, walking and trance, and 3 others within the death-free birth between. The Bardo teaches that after death, the soul exists in the Bardo for 49 days in a between that can lead to nirvana or back into rebirth. One of the facts that influences the soul's ultimate location is the dying itself. A good death tends to push the soul towards enlightenment, while a bad death can move it towards rebirth. Well, Tibetan Buddhists thus spend a lot of time and energy in helping the dying. Yeah, it's very much a death. It's all right, to die, to not be scared of death, and to approach it in a
can help.
Yeah, it's when I've talked about using lucid dreaming as a means to conquer the fear of death, basically. Yeah, to die, but to know, like when you die, you go, I'm dead, but this is also like lucid dreaming, so nothing to be scared or whatever about and be in control of it.
Yeah, isn't it more to do with being alive and being scared of death than being dead and being scared of death? Like a good death, so you're not scared of dying.
Yeah,
not
yeah. That
after
is
you're
kind of
dead.
that's what I was trying to
Yeah,
say.
Okay.
That's what I was. Yes, but so you recognise death when you die. You're not scared of it.
Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay. Okay. Next.
What's that? Talalocan?
I'm not really sure how to say it, but yeah.
I don't know how to say that either, but it's spelt like Talalocan,
Okay, do it.
which is Aztec. For the Aztec people, Mictlan was the place, I probably butchered that, was the place where nearly all mortals went when they died, regardless of how they lived. However, if certain conditions were met, the soul could be granted access to the other afterlives. One such place, known as Tlalocan, was home to the rain gods Tlaloc, and was exclusively for those who died because of rain, lightning, or various skin diseases, or were sacrificed to the deity. It was said to be peaceful and full of flowers and dancing. Makes sense with all that rain, okay? Those with physical deformities who were said to be under the watch of Tlaloc were also granted access to the paradise. Souls of those who went to Tlalocan frequently reincarnated, passing back and forth between realms.
Basically, it was like they had this deity who was god of the rain and stuff like that. And they were like, do we make like people that have got diseases feel better? Let's let them go there, and the disabled ones as well. And also, if you get sacrificed, you also go there as well. So, like, but also
But only if you're sacrificed to Tlalocan.
Yeah. But you imagine that rain. Obviously, rain was quite important, wasn't it? For crops and stuff like that. So that maybe that's why that one particular one.
Those who died because of rain, so maybe blood or something
like that.
Landslide.
But I haven't got any hell for that. The last hell one I've got. We chuck it in there because I haven't got a.
Got him.
It's Hades, Greek. Hades is actually the name of the Lord of the Dead and ruler of the Netherworld, but the name became so associated with the place that the two merged. Hades is also the place the dead go. Hades rules this world with Persephone, isn't it? Persephone?
Yep.
Whom he abducted from the earth goddess Demeter, and a number of other figures such as Thanatos, Hypnos, Charon, and Cerberus. Hades represents a place of eternal punishment for evildoers, where the sinners are put on horrifying display. Such examples include Tityus bound with a vulture while a vulture eats his liver, Tantalus thirsty and hungry but unable to eat the fruit just above his head or drink the water at his feet, and Sisyphus forced to push a rock up a hill only to have it rolled back again for eternity. That's just some ideas of
Sucks.
Greek hell. Yes, it does suck.
Hell.
Bring it on. Show me some heaven, baby. Show me heaven, Folkvanga.
Where are we going to go?
Mythology.
Folkvanga.
Yeah.
Okay, Norse. Most people are probably familiar with Valhalla, the heaven-like place where the souls of fallen warriors are taken in. However, according to the myths, half of them were actually said to go to a place called Folkvanga, which translates as Field of the Host, or Army Field. This afterlife was ruled by Freya and was supposedly a counterpoint to Valhalla. Very few literal descriptions of Folkvanga have survived, but we do know that this is where Freya's hall, Sessrumnir, which means roomy seat, is located, which itself is described as a great and fair. Women were also believed to be able to end up there, even if they were killed, even if they weren't killed in battle.
So, okay, so women are welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
women
good.
And men who didn't die in battle, maybe.
That's fair. That sounds a bit fairer than all the other
ones. Okay, Valhalla. Historical dramas like Vikings have made this version of heaven especially popular. Those who went there had to be warriors that died in battle. They were welcomed into the halls of Asgard by the Valkyries, maidens that work for the gods, to feast alongside Odin and other warriors that died in battle before them. Here the slain warriors feast forever with Odin, drinking unlimited ale that flows from the udders of goats and meat from boars. They still have to fight one another in preparation for doomsday, but all their wounds or death here are reversed in the evening, so you cannot die again. Then, on the day of Ragnarok or Doomsday, they will march out of Asgard to fight alongside Odin against the giants. Doesn't sound like an easy heaven to be in, does it? Yeah, but they loved it. That's where they wanted to be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you go there, you fight, drink, eat, and then you get resurrected and do it all again the next day.
Sounds pretty cool. You'd be like, don't stab me. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, because then you'd have to just get...
Well, no, because you'd just be the best warrior and don't get stabbed.
Yeah. I like that one.
That's the idea, isn't it? Just like training for eternity to fight at the end of the world.
I think you... What's this? Yeah, okay. Next. So what was my next one?
Fields of Aru.
Oh, I've just... No, because I've just messed up. Oh, the Fields of Aru. Okay, this is the Fields of Aru is Egyptian mythology. Is it mythology, though? Sometimes known as the Fields of Offerings or even the Elysian Fields. Aru was the land where Osiris dwelt after having been resurrected from death. A number of gates, either 15 or 21, each with its own guard, stood between the soul of the righteous person and Aru. Once they arrived, the souls would find themselves in a land of eternal peace with magnificent crops and bread and beer of eternity, which never goes stale. Other physical comforts were abundant, and men could have a number of wives and concubines. No word on what women would get if they could even get in. Again, Aru was more or less exactly the same as the mortal world, just better. So it's just like you can have what you want, just better, more of it.
Yeah,
and
it will taste better and look better.
It doesn't say who can go, does it? It's like everyone goes there, isn't it?
Men go there. I'm not sure women do.
Yeah, don't know what we mean. They go there to be the concubines and wives again, don't they? Okay, you want to do the next one?
Yep. This is Tir na Nog, which is Irish. Irish mythology. Known to the Irish as the land of the young, Tir na Nog was an island far out in the Atlantic Ocean, which was said to be a place of eternal happiness and youth. Mortals were normally banned from the island, but could reach it if they underwent an extreme trial or were invited by the fairies that lived there. One such mortal was Oisin, who was said to be the greatest poet in Ireland's history. I bet I pronounced that name totally wrong. It's like Weasel or something. He travelled there with, how do you say that?
Neve
Chinor, the daughter of the king of Tir na Nog, and they stayed together for 300 years, although it has only felt like 1 year to Oisin. Everything you could ever want was found on the island. However, Oisin eventually grew homesick and left, dying when he returned to Ireland. So did he like age like
He went back through and then turned for
Did he make that noise as well?
Literally made that noise.
He just sounded a bit Irish then.
A little bit. Sure. The Otherworld, Celtic mythology. Unlike most depictions of heaven, the Celtic Otherworld was said to be located on Earth. It's a little bit like, it's very much like the Irish one. Somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. Sometimes it is described as an island or chain of islands. Other times the Otherworld is believed to exist beneath the ocean. It is an idolised mirror image of Earth, where sickness, old age, famine, war, and all other evils of the world are banished. The various deities of Celtic mythology are said to call the Otherworld home, and the souls of the righteous humans interact with them for eternity. In addition, unlike many of the other heavens on this list, mortals are said to be occasionally visited the Otherworld. Again, Tir na Nog and the Otherworld is pretty much kind of
the same thing, isn't it?
Kind of thing, yeah. It sounds like it's like a place. It's not like they don't think it's somewhere where you go like when you die. It's a place here already, isn't it? Like almost like
well, Tir na Nog's fairyland, isn't it? So it's not. Yeah. It's not really a heaven because you don't. No. You know, it's not where you go when you die if you're human. It's a land. It's a mystical land you can get to.
Yeah, and you don't go there when you. I don't know.
No, you don't go there when you die.
Didn't seem to have didn't have a.
Because mortals weren't allowed to go there, so.
Oh, she just died, and that was it.
Well, they may maybe in like Irish before Christianity, they may have had somewhere where you go. Same with like Celtic. I mean, they're the same thing, aren't they? Well, what would you say? Celtic's older, or
what than the Irish and Tir na Nog?
Yeah, no, I mean they're the same thing. I mean, they've separated them two different things here, but
because you had the British here before the Celts. So
what British? We didn't have British here before the Celts.
Well, you did. You did.
They were Celts.
No, you had people here before the Celts because Celts is like a society and a sort of civilization. You did have people in the British Isles before the Celts.
Yeah, but we don't have any clue what they were like whatsoever. They weren't Britons.
Oh, okay, that's another podcast. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next, moving on up. Did I do that? Or did you do that?
Done them.
Yeah.
You do Greek mythology.
Okay, Elysium, Greek mythology.
Well, Elysium was what
Did we do this? We did this.
No, Elysium's
like,
is what the Egyptians called their world as well.
Wasn't that sort of like a Roman one as well, a little bit?
Yeah. Well, they took it from the Greeks, obviously, didn't they?
Right. Yeah.
So they took most of their gods and
pretty much, yeah.
beliefs.
Also known as the Elysian Fields, the Elysian Plain, or the Islands of the Blessed, Elysian's purpose changed over time for the Greeks. At first, only these mortals who were given special favour by the gods were allowed to enter. Eventually, the invitation was extended to all good humans. Homer described it as a place of perfection without work or strife. Heslod wrote that the honey-sweet fruit grows 3 times a year, nourishing the blessed. Later Greek writers identify the islands of the Eastern Aegean or other islands in the Atlantic Ocean as possible real-world locations for Elysium. When reincarnation began to take hold in Greek mythology, Elysium was sometimes split into tiers, with the soul required to gain entry 4 times into Elysium before being permanently taken to the Islands of the Blessed. It's all a bit. So it seems like maybe, is it like Atlantis? This island in the Atlantic, like where
I think it's the same as.
You reckon it was a go on.
Celts and Tir and Og? It's Atlantis, isn't it?
Seems like there was something. Maybe with special. There was like people that had different, maybe powers or something like that. It was an advanced civilization there. As we kind of know about.
It could just be. If it did exist, it could just be that place over there where there's these people with fantastic
better stuff.
Yeah, better stuff. And when you die, everyone's like, oh, we just go there when we die, because no one actually ever goes there.
And because they've got no idea of how to get there, sort of thing.
Yeah. It's like that's where we go, because that's where all the decent people are with the flying machines and
and
magical
6 wives or whatever.
Yeah.
All the fruit, because all
that's where we want to go.
Stuff. Basically, yeah.
Okay, what's this one? Cockade.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but I thought I'd add it because
Medieval European mythology. This is from not associated with any religion. Cockade was a mythical land, much like heaven, where everyone got whatever they wanted. Rivers of wine were said to flow through the land, and the houses and streets were made of pastries. Its location was rumoured to be in the Atlantic Ocean somewhere, and it was sometimes seen as an alternate to the boring paradise of Christian heaven. Sexuality was extremely pronounced, and nearly everyone engaged in some form of lewd activity. Nuns and monks were particularly singled out. In addition, no one needed to work, and there was roast geese which would wander around, begging to be eaten. The American hobo myth of Big Rock Candy Mountain is seen as an evolution of this idea.
I tried to find out about Rock Candy Mountain. All I could find was a song, just a song, and so but I didn't include the song. I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Again, I've never heard of Cockade before, but obviously people, it was all like they were all about all being all pious, and people were just like, nope, we don't want to
go to heaven and sing eternally to God. We want to go to Cockade.
Why? And they were like, why should we feel bad about being human, basically eating food, ducks or whatever, and shagging nuns or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, people just wanted to just
geese.
Be human.
The geese were pre-roasted, and they just wandered about, and you just had a nibble.
Just bit the goose's head. Like, weird. I don't know, man.
That's a weird one, isn't it?
It was all a bit weird.
You wouldn't have thought that. You wouldn't have thought medieval Europe there would have been an alternate to like heaven.
No, but Christian heaven. So not everyone was. You were scared, like you said. Though you were scared of the Inquisition and stuff like that in the church, because they would just kill you or whatever, and the kings and everything had the power. But normal people, they had, like the wise women and stuff like that, and had an alternative lifestyle to what we see in the books and stuff like that. I think something like that.
You're probably right.
Yeah. So which one are you picking? Which heaven are you picking?
I'm probably still going with the Hindu one.
I like that. Also, just break through the illusion and then
break out the matrix.
What do I say? Infinite love is the only truth. Everything else is illusion. I keep telling you about the wood doesn't exist, and there's no such thing.
Does exist.
Shut up.
I keep telling you it does.
That's why you keep coming back. That's why I keep coming back as well. I quite like maybe, I don't know, the undersea world of Atlantis where fruit grows 3 times a year. I don't know.
I mean, a lot of them they all feed off each other, don't they, in certain ways?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very like, so give me your idea of heaven, make something up. It would be like food whenever I want it. I'm going to be young forever, lots of alcohol, lots of sex, and not feel bad about it. And that's it, really. Isn't it? It's like,
well, interesting.
No one feels bad. No one's get depressed and gets hurt.
Like if you go to like Christian heaven, which it doesn't exist in the like Old Testament.
Yeah. There's
no heaven. It's like a Testament thing that's made up. Like later on, everyone thinks it's like a fundamental basis cornerstone of Christianity, and it's like, is it heaven? No, I think I might be thinking of hell. Hell doesn't exist in like the Old Testament.
Yeah,
definitely like something in the New Testament that was made up. And I don't think as a way to control people, control people. Or I think a lot. If you look at like scholars who study the Bible, I think a lot of it comes from Revelations, and that was generally written because of the persecution of the Christians at the time. By Rome. That was written as a warning to them to say, "Oh, just stick with us, people, and eventually Rome will be brought to its knees, and they'll all end up in this burning place."
It was, didn't it was?
Which is where even like 666 comes from, which is with the devil or whatever. It comes from this.
6 cities or towns or
I know it's Gematria for the name of Nero.
Yes, of course, of course.
That's where it comes from.
Well, it can be.
I think it is.
Probably is.
Yeah, probably is.
We'll go with that.
It almost definitely is. It isn't. Yeah. So people say, "Oh, it's the mark of the beast," but it's already been revealed. It was a code so they could write stuff about Nero and call him a beast and whatever
without getting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Apparently, unless that's all just a cover by the devil.
Fuck's sake! I should have done anti devils and gods or whatever. Well, maybe we can do that. Gods and God. We've done that before, haven't we? I don't know. We'll do it again. I don't know.
That was interesting.
Right. Awesome. Cool. So I'm going to Santorini. That's going to be like heaven. There you go. Just what I'd say.
Will be, won't it?
Yeah. Well, and it could be like hell as well if the volcano erupts while I'm there. I know. I don't think it will either.
That one's dead.
It's not. Yeah. I don't think so. No.
Growing.
Yeah. It's got like a baby, like Krakatoa. I'm sure it's alive. It's like steams and stuff like that. It doesn't matter, whatever. But yeah, cool. Anyway,
thanks for listening to episode 103. We'll be back next time. If you want to contact us,
next time?
Yeah, we'll back maybe next week, maybe the week after.
I might have to do next week. We'll probably be back next week.
We always say that.
Because I'm in the Isle of Wight festival the week after.
Okay.
Can't do next
anyway.
week. It's going to be about 3 weeks. I'll be honest, because I've got to go and.
No one cares, bro. No one cares.
I'm going to tell you, I've got to go and. It doesn't matter. Yeah, right. No one cares. It doesn't matter.
You got to go what? Get your nails done.
Next weekend, we have to go and collect my auntie because she's come to save my mother. So that's on the Friday evening, and then the Friday after that, I'm going to be at the Isle of Wight festival. So it will be the Friday after that. So yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a break from again. Sorry.
Enough.
Don't cry.
I was going to say, if you want to contact us, you can send us an email, bigconspire@hotmail.com. We're also out there on various social medias. You can watch previous videos on Odyssey and BitChute. Look for the Big Conspire. And that's it. We're out of here. We'll catch you soon. See you later.
There's no silent altar.